theme day building today.
Right?
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Do you experience the
Is this yours?
Isn't it getting real now that you
no.
like the details on it?
I mean, it's,
Yeah, I think we.
all of this is kind of a mix of both, Brad and I.
You think so?
8 months.
I think so.
8 months we can move in.
You're vicious. You're gonna push me to extinction.
I think we can do it though.
I think so too.
Okay, so this one's empty. Pull, trade, pull. Nice.
So we're gonna change it up a little bit. Gonna work on this window right here.
It gets destroyed in the rain, so you just want to cover it before the plywood dies.
What if I just fell out the window?
I did reinforce it, so it's supposed to be strong.
I saw this video on YouTube
Yeah,
that a guy fell off a cruise ship
yeah.
and then he swam for 20 hours and then they found him.
Oh wow. Why didn't you come right after you fell?
See, I was watching it and he said he didn't remember falling off.
Oh, must have had like the drinks package.
He said he wasn't drinking.
That story is a bit wild to me.
That's what I thought too.
Wow, good job.
Trying to use a lot of this today.
I really it is.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about it.
I think people are just waiting for us to make noise, so the first noise they hear, they're just gonna call bylaws.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be doing construction noise today.
Construction noise.
We read the bylaws. You cannot get tattletaled on if it's non-construction.
That to whatever length that you need.
Gerd! Do you see him?
No, I can hear him.
Pretty soon we're going to be teaching the classes on how to do this.
Oh, I didn't know.
So there definitely was a lot of mystery to the home when we bought it, and it's still here. I still have a lot of questions, like how did it get to be so bad when we bought it? Maybe that's a reason why you guys started following the series. I know I love the mystery side to it, and if you do too, you're gonna love today's sponsor because it is June's Journey. So June's Journey is a hidden object mystery game, and it follows a detective, June, as she tries to figure out who the heck killed her sister and brother-in-law. Apparently, no one knows anything about it, apparently. And the police are saying that it's a murder-suicide. She doesn't believe it. There's also a really cool storyline where family relationships come up, love, betrayal, motherhood, all within the game. I'm going to show you a sneak peek of the game. Here's a sneak peek of the game. One of the crucial clues is hidden in plain sight. Can you spot the difference and find the clue? There was 3 whiskey glasses on the table. So someone else had to be there the night they were murdered. If you guys want to try out June's Journey for free, I will link down below in the description. Just use that link to download the game. It's available on iOS, Android, and PC. Looks good, right? I feel like this is the first time where I feel like a professional. Nice.
I'm allowed.
You know what you remind me of?
Yeah.
My grandma with the morning newspaper.
Oh my gosh, I'm that old looking.
No, you're just really enjoying your book.
It's a great book.
We just realized we were lazy when we were framing this window. Are you surprised? And we didn't finish this side of it, and because today's a special day, it's a holiday, we cannot use power tools. So Nikki's starting to work on baby windows. They're kind of like a one-person job. See?
I can't say I'm having a good time. I'm not having a good time.
It's not fun?
No.
That looks good.
It does look good. Got the protection. It's good.
Mine.
Sure.
Insurance. Yeah, just whip it.
Ah!
Ah! You just.
Oh, I'm doing it. Ah! Yay!
That's great. Good job, Jen.
And then this is empty.
I would say this is not so bad.
No?
It's just very tedious. You wanna tell them what we're having for dinner today?
Soup.
I've definitely become a Weeglove, however these people pronounce it.
How do you pronounce this?
I think we had some
Wiglove. I think it's Wiglove.
I think it's Weeglove. They should sponsor me.
We already bought the product. You guys should sponsor us.
Like a thank you sponsorship.
Oh.
If they send me like
This is
A
a,
sweatshirt.
a sweatshirt,
I
yeah.
don't know, I think so. I said it for you to,
Oh, that
you to
hat.
be the decider.
If
It
they
has,
send me a hat,
it has to say Wiglove on it though.
yeah,
You'll also buy it too.
even give me the privilege to buy it, I will buy it.
All right, now we're clean and tidy.
You're not allowed to. Just go quick.
One more hit.
Okay, quick. Oh, you missed. We're getting in trouble.
We gotta do this roll.
Yeah. Just take it away, just take it away. Before I hit it some more, just take it
Should
away.
I do a second coat and kill?
I know.
I'm so excited. We can make noise today.
I haven't done this wall at all.
We can make noise today.
I would maybe hit that in that section, do that patch.
Yeah.
I hit that a little bit, and then down that wall.
All right.
Done. Where we go?
Where's your tool? Great sound effects, okay, cool.
I need a flat card thing. Hey,
Alright, so I'm at this place. So what are you thinking on time next week or this one?
this coming weekend,
So you want me to go ahead and reserve this for Saturday morning at 10 then?
yes.
Okay. So yeah, Saturday morning at 10, drop it off Monday morning at 10. It's only one 24-hour period, so it's only $45.99.
Yeah, and I want a car that we can ride in comfortably. I don't want to be packed in like a sardine, so I,
SUV all-wheel drive in case it snows.
thank you.
Yeah. Alright, so okay, I'll go ahead and reserve it. Alright. talk to you
Okay,
later.
thank you, love you, bye.
Alright, bye.
Talking to Josh.
Done. What do you think?
Ho ho ho! It looks fancy. Right? I can't even lie.
Josh is getting the rental
I'm
car.
impressed.
Me too.
It's like a brand new house.
We're good.
I know. I didn't think our end result would be this good, but
I know.
it's good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I want to toot my own horn, but it looks good.
It looks good. This whole video is just gonna be like a 20-minute video of us saying it looks good.
It looks good.
It looks good.
It's good.
It's good.
So last week, we could not finish completely taping the front of our house blue because we had to wait for this.
It's a roof on our porch.
Yeah, like he's not joking. Roof man, he came down and he just torched on the roof on the side of the house.
Apparently you do this where there's a potential to leak.
I didn't know you could put torch on your walls.
I know, he's crazy, this guy, but he did it.
This is what Envelope Man wanted. He wanted a roof on my front porch.
What were the three numbers?
62, 44, 14.
Wow. You remembered it. Let's go install it.
Oh, you got it?
All done. It's starting to get wet?
Yeah.
Well done.
Frick. Oh my goodness. How are the bags under your eyes?
I'm still recovering from my really short sleep. I only had 6.5 hours of sleep. I need to go take a nap. The bags are like impeding on my vision now, so it's really tough.
Because you got 6.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it's
You can't see now.
no.
I a little bit later last night to help me with my work, and he only got 6.5 hours of sleep.
This window is now protected. Go back to the front. That's fair. Ding.
Hey.
Wow.
Doesn't that look good?
That looks so professional.
I'm very happy with it. You did a great job.
Agreed.
But we have a storm coming tonight, apparently, and we bought this massive tube. What is it called?
Roll.
Polytubing.
Yeah.
And pretty much our drain things, there's
Adam!
that comes down. So when it rains now, it just
So really,
pummels the house. It just destroys
I just tried
the
to
house.
do this
Just
and
like
it
a
fell
hose. It just comes down and goes into the
Yeah,
house.
you gotta
So
pull it and screw
we
it.
bought
There's little,
this tube so we can
there's
just patch it
little,
up there and
there's
the
two
water
little
just goes in.
notch.
I know, I
It's
just
temporary.
didn't do it. And I didn't
It's
know.
still
and it
not-
was dunk.
Downspout?
It's still not up right. It's gonna fall in again.
No. This is a downspout. A gutter collects the water from your roof and then it goes into a downspout.
Gutter.
You're so annoying.
I'm very excited to see these work.
Me too. Seen other builders have these.
What if the wind rips it off?
I duct taped it so hard I don't think it will.
There's
No.
one.
Now
There we
we're
go.
not completely, which is fine.
Now we're on.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
This is gonna be quite the transformation in our house.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Look at the smiley face with a fucking nose!
condom house.
Oh, it's a penis. And balls. It's two penises.
You're such a little kid.
Or it's talking balls in somebody's mouth.
Says a bad word, starts laughing. That doesn't matter that much. Hopefully there's not going to be a 200-kilometer-an-hour windstorm. This is freaking violent. Otherwise, I think it'll stay in place. I feel like I may have added too many drains.
Oh no!
See, there's not much in here.
Oh no! The downspouts that were supposed to get the water out of the house brought it in the house. We're currently having a pretty good windstorm. Oh, that's nice.
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty defeated with this rain and wind. I don't know what to do. This is what everyone does at a traditional construction site. I looked it up. This is literally what everyone does.
How do we even work in this?
It was so nice yesterday. It's so pretty with the rain behind you. And then today just came. Dad, I don't know what to do with this. And everything just goes inside the house, which is great. It's amazing. This is freaking violent.
Yeah, Money came home last night.
Yeah.
She was gone for 24 whole hours.
Literally this year.
No, it just gets clogged.
Completely clogged.
Completely clogged. Nick is working on the downspouts. Hopefully my camera doesn't blow over. I gotta say it's a lot lately.
That wall first.
Very enjoyable.
Hmm?
So I wish we had paper towels.
There's a box of them somewhere. I just had them yesterday.
Paper towels?
Yep, they were right here yesterday. So it's the big yellow box of them. He might have taken it back with him.
Yeah, over here.
Yay!
I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I just want to leave and go for the hot chocolate and read my book. This is the last thing I want to do right now. Hi. What's she doing?
I'm putting rolls on it. I'm thinking it might help a bit.
Yeah?
Or do you think so? stretching it out nicely, positioning it properly.
You just have leftover staples, but not enough staples to put in a stapler?
Yeah, as an individual.
And
And then you just take your little hammer.
You've been hammering staples?
See? It works quite well. I'll show you guys again.
Oh my god.
It probably would have taken me like 2 seconds with a stapler, but since I forgot, I need a supper. I thought the roof would solve our problems.
Nikki, you just said yesterday, you're like, I don't need anything but my roof.
I know. Well, I take it back. I need windows. I need nice, warm walls. I need more. Happiness is not so simple. Like, I swear if my tape gets stuck on itself, I will yell. We need a trip to the hardware store after this.
I think we should go.
Yeah.
Should we just do like a planning day?
I can do like a plan today,
Really? Woo!
yeah. You're having those bad days?
Today's one of them?
Today's a bad day.
Looks good though.
Thanks, Jen. Frustration level 10 right now? I'm not even gonna tape this today, I'm done. It's like so windy. It's not possible.
We have good news. The downspouts that we were able to keep, they worked last night. They did not fly away. We are very happy. It is dry in here.
Even the doormat is dry, it's nice.
Yeah, they're working.
You know what's really funny? The ones on the back side of the house? Oh, she's flailing in the wind.
No, it's still windy today, but not as bad. Yesterday was it was a tough day.
It was like gusts of 70 kilometers an hour. It was really rough.
We just left.
Yeah. I got a trick question for you.
What?
It's actually not a trick question, it's a real question. We're missing something. What thing did we miss?
We didn't put the
Ding, ding, ding! Alright, let's go put it on.
what is it called?
The fen trim. Don't move my rock. Why did you move my rock? Jen. Just start from my end. Jen, just start from my end.
This is too hard.
Are we done for the day already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
We're done. We're done. This is too frustrating. What's going on, Jen? I will give you as much as I can.
It's okay. They're right there.
Wow.
Look at that.
They're struggling today in the wind.
They are. There's a third one. Where's scissors and
They're going after the flashing guy. Oh my gosh. They're so big. You know the tree?
That is so cool.
Nice. Okay. So you're gonna use your little butt end as a roll. Go a little higher on your end, Jeff. Okay. Scissors. Kinda like
Done. So our next thing, this one's a bit tricky. We have this one section of the garage right here that's technically outside. This is where the window's going, and we need to cover this up. But we can't cover it up without insulation, so we do have to do insulation for this whole thing here. And plywood, then blue tape. It's like the same as the old one.
see. Yeah.
You just need to put one in there?
Yeah, just one.
Oh, good. That's really easy. dragged it out. Like one guy just dragged it out. Locked it into the back of their truck. And then just drove away.
I'm so excited.
Good job.
This is all protected now from the elements, all the corners. Stand to the best. Got a roof again. No more to do. Our house is blue. Officially.
It's waterproof.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
So I got 2 bad news, 1 good news.
Hit me.
We'll start with the bad news. Last night, we got an email from our window supplier, and our windows are going to be delayed a whole month. We were supposed to get them middle March. Now they're going to be coming middle April, which is not ideal. We can now push back everything 1 month for our contractors. But the second bad news, which we got this morning, is that we don't have plumbers anymore.
Also not good.
No, they cannot do the job anymore, so we now have to find new plumbers, which really sucks because we've had these plumbers since the fall. It's not easy to find plumbers or contractors, period. And we need them to start in maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like really cutting it close, so.
What's the good news though? Is there good news?
Oh yeah, we're gonna rip up the concrete next week.
Wait, that's the good news?
Yeah.
There's no other good news?
No. Download June's Journey for free. Just use my link down in the description or the QR code.
History Month. She was named the city's first female fire chief. Say that 5 times fast. And that's not the only banner she
Put a chicken in and make it gay.
Department's first openly gay leader as well. So let's welcome and congratulate the soon-to-be Los Angeles Fire.
Congratulations, because you have sex. Congratulations. Oh my God, you're so special.
Against a lesbian being chief.
You're so special.
Lesbian can do the job. Of course I do.
Everything is about you.
Or maybe they really wanted a lesbian in that job, and she's just the best lesbian for the job. And with essential services, that's not good enough.
A few moments later.
We're following some breaking news in Los Angeles. Mayor Karen Bass has fired the city's fire chief in the wake of the catastrophic wildfires that scorched the area last month. At a press conference this afternoon, Mayor Bass criticized Chief Kristen Crowley for failing to have more firefighters on duty the morning those fires broke out.
So today we have a DEI special for you. We have the first black female mayor of Los Angeles firing the first female openly gay fire chief in Los Angeles. And it's kind of crazy.
Kind of hilarious.
Now check out how this story is being covered in the media. Now this is Ground News, a platform that makes it easy to compare news sources, read between the lines of the media bias, and break free from the algorithm. So you can see here, it says Karen Bass fires LA fire chief over wildfire response disputes. And you have 233 news organizations covering this story. And with this bias distribution over here, you can really see how the story is being covered on the left and on the right. As you can see on the left, you have LA fire chief gets booed for mishandling wildfire. Now on the right, they focus on something a little different. Here's the American Wire News. Mayor Karen Bass feels the burn after axing lesbian fire chief who criticized her leadership. The one thing I do love is how the left likes to focus on the hiring of DEI, while the right seems to focus on the firing of someone based on DEI. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Ground News sponsored this video, and I really believe in the product because I use it all the time for my videos. Now, if you want a great deal, go to ground.news/name to get 40% off Ground News' Advantage Plan. So, what do you get? Well, you get the coverage details and all of these sources aggregated in one place. You get the bias distribution, how the left wing or the right wing is spinning a narrative to the story. Now, you also get the blind spot report, which I think is the most valuable piece to this because you get to see what stories are not being covered by the left wing and what stories are not being covered by the right wing. Now, I highly recommend Ground News. I use it myself. Remember, go to ground.news/Nate. Use my link and you'll save 40% on Ground News. Check it out and let me know what you think. All right, let me introduce you to the players. This is Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. She has the distinction of being the first black female mayor of Los Angeles.
Mark Giovanna, this is a historic moment in LA politics for several reasons. Congresswoman Bass becomes the first woman and just the second black Angelino elected to lead the city in its 241-year history. The Associated Press is projecting Bass as the winner. Now, here are the latest numbers. Take a look. With over 70% of the vote counted, Bass has a strong 6-point lead over her opponent, billionaire developer Rick Caruso. Now, Bass beat Caruso despite him spending more than $100 million of his own fortune, shattering local spending records and pumping eye-popping amounts of money into TV advertising. In fact, Caruso outspent Bass more than 11-1, but was ultimately unable to prevail as a former Republican in this Democratic stronghold. Bass had political star power behind her campaign. The 69-year-old was endorsed by President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and former President Barack Obama. Bass, who is from Baldwin Hills, has spent decades in public service as an activist, former Assembly Speaker, and as a 6-term member of Congress. Her campaign telling us tonight she was in our local congressional office when she heard the news.
Now, along with having the first female mayor, they also elected the first female fire chief who happened to be openly gay. I'm the first.
Welcome back to CBS Saturday Morning. The city of Los Angeles swore in a new fire chief yesterday, and for the first time in history of the department, she is a woman. Kristen Crowley will lead the nation's 3rd largest firefighting force in our 2nd biggest city as a push for diversity continues in a male-dominated field.
Now, since we're talking about diversity in the workplace, we have to talk about DEI. Now, for those of you who don't know, that stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, the criticism of DEI is simple. If you're hiring people based on their sex or their race, for instance, and you're not hiring them based on their qualifications, then that could lead to disasters. Now, DEI even comes in 2 flavors. It's DEI unqualified and DEI qualified. An example of someone who DEI qualified is Justice Jackson on the Supreme Court. She was nominated by President Biden, who said this.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was and that's who traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact. And
okay, my bad. That was the wrong clip. Here's the right clip.
I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue, Michael. I made that commitment during the campaign for president, and I will keep that commitment.
Now, I know I pick on liberals a lot, but it was the same thing with Clarence Thomas. Everyone knew he was being picked because he was black and he was replacing the first black justice. But listen to how George Bush explained why he picked Thomas. He's not telling people, I'm looking for the second black man. He's saying, I'm looking for the best man for the job. And this guy is the best person for the job, black, white, or whatever.
But I kept my word to the American people and to the Senate by picking the best man for the job on the merits. And the fact he's minority, so much the better. But that is not the factor, and I would strongly resent any charge that might be forthcoming on quotas when it relates to appointing the best man to the court. That's the kind of thing I stand for, not opposed to.
So I could ask a question. Was race a factor whatsoever?
Well, I tried to answer it just then as best I could. Nice try for the second go-around. Sue.
I can follow up. I mean, there are many people who felt that in fact that was a plus. Not that it was a factor or a quota, but that in fact he supported represents all the people. They're often a minority member. Did you at all feel that way?
Oh yeah, but I don't feel there's a quota. I don't feel that I had to nominate a black American at this time for the court. I express my respect for the ground that Mr. Justice Marshall plowed, but I don't feel there should be a black seat on the court or an ethnic seat on the court, if that's what your question is. I would reiterate, I think he's the best man, and if Credit accrues to him for coming up through a tough life as a minority in this country. So much the better.
So as you can see, one president says, I'm picking the best man, and he just happens to be black, while the other president says, I'm picking someone because they are black. Two different ways of thinking about diversity. So now, let's get back to LA. We have the first black woman mayor, and we have the first woman lesbian fire chief. Then, all hell breaks loose. The LA fires happen.
Devastation comes to California.
Get out of here.
Residents flee for their lives.
We had everything, like the sentimental things, like my mom passed away, we had only a few things of hers left.
All the stuff that's here is replaceable, people are not, so what happened is most important.
Homes are destroyed on an unprecedented scale.
People would normally be driving up and down here with surfboards on top of their cars, ready to enjoy a day at the beach. But right now, it just looks like some sort of apocalypse.
Firefighters struggle to hold back the flames.
All 29 fire departments in our county are not prepared for this type of widespread disaster.
But how did it happen? And why did the fires spread so quickly?
So then the blame game started. Who was to blame? See, right before the LA fires, the mayor, Karen Bass, went to Ghana for like a little vacation or something. Check it out.
Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, is under intense scrutiny after she was abroad.
She said it. President Biden sent her to Ghana. So this is all a setup. I guarantee you that Karen Bass is taking the fall. I mean, she's a fucking idiot. And she's a DEI hire. But she was told by the Biden administration to go to Ghana so that she would be gone. I know that.
Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
Now, compounding all of this, the mayor and city council cut millions of dollars from the fire department's budget, and that money was directly tied to things like fire prevention for wildfires. Here is the fire chief, Chief Crowley, explaining.
Got $17 million in budget cuts for this year alone. Has that impeded your firefight?
It has. And reality with any type of budget cut, it absolutely hampered our ability to provide service on a day-to-day basis, let alone on something historical, like the multiple fires that have negatively impacted our communities. It absolutely hampered us.
You've been asking for years for more money. And what is the city or the mayor saying in response?
So first and foremost, as I take a big step back, I've got the honor and privilege to represent the amazing men and women of our organization. My job is to make sure that our firefighters have what they need, tools, equipment, training, so that we can serve the community, period. So since day one, we've been fighting for, I stepped up, my team stepped up, we've identified gaps in our service. So for 3 years now, I've been ringing an alarm and saying the fire department does not have enough resources, and it's validated across the board. Our firefighters are doing everything they can do with what they've got. It's not enough. We've had a 55% increase in overall call volume since 2010, and we're doing it with 68 less people. We can't do it anymore, and it's time for me to step up. I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant like every other firefighter in the LAFD. It's my job to make sure that we step up and we do what we need to do to get them what they need. We need to be funded.
It must be very difficult being in your position and sound the alarm. It's not an easy thing to do.
It's not easy, but it's the right thing to do. And that is why, again, I'm in the seat at this very moment. And look back 3 years, this is not a new issue that I have raised. We have documented that justifies
on the counter, I think there might be a pile of sponges, or maybe on the stove. No, there's a plastic baggie
That
with
is
sponges in
position
it
that
somewhere.
I am going to take and I continue to take for.
It's like a new container of sponges or something.
Firefighters, as you
Whatever
know,
I'm trying to say.
are absolutely amazing. But yeah, it's not sustainable. It is time to make sure that our.
If you take one of them that's relatively clean and you get it wet and put it in the microwave for 1 minute, it will sanitize it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get those doors spotless. It's really about sanitizing, it's worried about actually.
Oh, in the back seat of my car, there's a laundry basket, a white laundry basket. There's magic erasers in it. And if you don't see the basket or whatever, just look around. There's magic erasers like scattered around my car.
They did add something to the budget.
They're not very absorbent, but they will remove anything.
The fire department is launching its first ever diversity, equity, and inclusion bureau. It is dedicated to ensuring a fair and equal workplace environment. So by creating this
I'm
new
guessing
bureau, our
this
diversity,
was
equity, and
for
inclusion bureau,
something, but I feel like this will work.
That was for the,
doing a deep dive.
yeah, the walls, moving it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this.
We are hosting our new employee orientation, and our focus is to teach our new employees for them to understand cultural competency, identify implicit and unconscious bias, and be aware of the importance of us having a diverse and inclusive workforce.
I welcome all of you in this room to join, whether you're LGBTQ plus or not, or you're just an ally, you have family members, anybody that's willing to engage.
Put a chick in it and make it gay.
Recognize
Put a chick in it and make it gay.
as an agency that was very serious about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Now think about how much it costs to do all of this. You have to hire the trainers, all these people who are in the arts getting paid, right? They're not sitting there for free, so that's a cost. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There was even an ad campaign.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person.
I don't give a fuck as long as they're saving my life.
Your situation better. Is she strong enough to do that?
Why do we give a shit about race so fucking much?
My response is,
God
I'm
damn it,
in one place if I have to carry them out of the fire.
So the bottom line was less money for fire prevention services to stop wildfires and more money for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So
Does any of this make sense to anyone? It doesn't to me.
The first black female mayor of Los Angeles taking on the heat
I gotta go
because, she cut the budget for the fire department. And then we have the first lesbian woman fire chief who essentially is saying we don't have enough money to do the job we need to do. But as you know, Blake rolls downhill, so the fire chief had to go.
Now, the mayor made the announcement today, but she also said she knew she was going to fire Kristen Crowley almost immediately after the fires, essentially saying that she failed to prepare Los Angeles, putting our lives at risk.
We all know that 1,000 firefighters that could have been on duty on the morning the fires broke were instead sent home on Chief Crowley's watch.
During the press conference today, the mayor criticizing Kristen Crowley for sending home some 1,000 firefighters right before the Palisades fire broke out on January 7th. The reason why is still under investigation. Additionally, the mayor claims Crowley refused an after-action report on the fires, despite other members of the LAFD claiming the investigation is happening now and that she is not refusing to cooperate.
All right, so the first black female mayor is firing the first white female.
This shit is so funny.
Because of political
Goofy.
controversy, right? She needs a
Goofy.
fall guy. The fire chief is
It's
the
a-
obvious fall guy.
We're gonna be telling our grandkids about this, about like the 10-year span where
Frontline firefighters
we
said,
made
no,
the
it's
word
not the fire
retard
chief's
a
fault that
crime.
you cut the budget. It's the mayor's fault. And stood behind the fire chief and said she
Only
should
someone who
be
thinks they are retarded would have a problem with that.
Freddie Escobar
You know what I mean?
says Crowley's back.
Every accusation is an admission.
United in saying that this was a grave mistake by the mayor to treat our fire chief like this, to throw her under the bus and make her a scapegoat.
Now, in Los Angeles, if the mayor relieves the fire chief of her duties, the city council can reinstate the fire chief if the fire chief chooses to appeal that firing. So, the city council is meeting Tuesday of this week to see if the fire chief is going to get her job back.
And now Crowley says she wants her job back. sending a letter to council members she's appealing the mayor's decision to fire her. Now in 4 days, the blame game to be played out publicly. Escobar promises his fellow firefighters will be there to push for the return of their former leader.
All right, so will the ultra-woke LA City Council uphold the firing of the first female lesbian fire chief? Well, here's what happened.
As former LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley is not getting her head job back after city leaders denied her appeal for reinstatement.
In a contentious and emotional hearing, the Los Angeles City Council voted 13-2 upholding Mayor Karen Bass's firing of the former chief.
So now at the end of the video, what do you think? Do you believe the fire chief should get her job back? Do you think the mayor is just essentially throwing her under the bus to save her own political skin? I don't think the mayor is going to make it. I think she's a one-termer and out. You know, she headed out of town when the fires are here, and now she's trying to throw the first lesbian fire chief under the bus. Things are not going good. So we will see eventually what happens. But that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe to the YouTube stuff. In the comment section. My name is Nick the Lawyer, and I'm out. Peace.
Oh boy, this one deep state asset is really having a difficult time today. As now we're getting even more redactions from the Jeffrey Epstein files that have not yet come out, as Andrew Tate is being criminally investigated in the state of Florida, where they have already confiscated his phone and raided his property. As some people are saying, there actually might be something significant to come out of all of this, as this is what we're going to be discussing in this particular video, the larger ramifications of it all, and the big implications of what the Attorney General of the United States announced a couple hours ago, saying specifically that now national security information will be redacted from the Epstein files.
Oh, so you mean Israel? All of Israel?
Why is there national security stuff in the Epstein files, Pam? Pam.
Exactly.
National security stuff.
Exactly.
I think the conclusion is pretty logical here, and that is the fact that many foreign governments were involved here. It's not only the United Kingdom, not only Russia, not only Israel that were involved here, but
it is an international high-ticket
with
child sex ring.
that clearly were up to no good. We saw the Prime Minister of Australia's daughter literally on the arm of Epstein. What do you think they were doing? What kind of deal you thought was made here for that to transpire and happen? As of course that was on video. That was captured. That was the corporate media that recorded and released that. Imagine the stuff that we do not know about. But this is also something that is highlighting big problems here, because now national security information will be redacted, meaning we won't be able to find out about what was really going on here, what other foreign governments were involved here. Why? As a lot of people were saying, oh, how convenient. Another person responded, this is happening because, blackmail is useful. That could be a likely scenario here, but that blackmail was procured with some of the most awful, horrendous, horrible actions, and that type of blackmail needs to be ended, since whatever you could force another country to do, whatever you're going to extort for geopolitical favors, is it worth it? Since it's on the backs of literal small children.
Of course they think so.
Taken advantage of.
No one
Force that were
is worth it.
That were abused here. Is that worth it? No. The crime of abusing small children should be the priority of getting justice here, not extorting national security issues and favors geopolitically. Again, the fact that there's going to be more redactions here is only going to be more disappointing, as a lot of people are posting pictures like this, showing Bill Barr here, the previous Attorney General under Trump that covered up the Epstein saga, the Epstein ending. A man whose father played a role in giving Epstein his start. A man also allegedly connected to the intel agencies, like Bill Barr, that worked and essentially covered up the crime of the decade. It was also Bill Barr's office and the FBI's office and the SDNY office that went to Epstein and tried to offer him the deal in order to snitch on Donald Trump and put Donald Trump in jail. As I think this meme right here perfectly represents the situation that we are getting close to, which isn't a good situation. And if this does happen, you will hear protest from me first before you hear it from anyone else. If Pam Bondi delivers, though, and we actually get some names here, and we actually get the truth here, she will get the utmost praise and respect from me, as of course, we have to understand, she's doing a very difficult job right now. She's probably getting a crap ton of death threats. There's an insane amount of pressure on her. I think it's fair to say she definitely fumbled phase one here, where she wasn't really that kind of open and transparent, and I hope she learned her lesson. We will see what happens with this latest truckload of documents that she has officially announced she has and will be releasing after the redactions are made. Hopefully there's not too many redactions, but the first phase one had more redactions than the documents originally previously had, by the way. So already the track record isn't the best. That the corporate media is doing their best to cover for the FBI director in the New York City office that was covering up the larger disclosures here. As NBC News has this deranged article saying top FBI official forced out after questioning Trump's pursuit of agents who investigated J6. No, NBC, that's not what happened here. According to the DOJ, this is the guy that was aiding and abetting a criminal cover-up of child trafficking. I'm sorry. NBC News, I don't care how you twist it, how you manipulate it, you're not doing anyone any favors here by covering this huge crisis up. As now, I think the next shoe that's going to be dropping is the revelation that the FBI just lost the Epstein tape, the hard drives, the videos, the photos. They just magically went missing because they left, they left the safe open, and then they just walked away from it, and then something happened to it. That's going to be the official version of events that you're going to be hearing. And the vast majority of Americans are going to be up in arms saying, yeah, right. I do not believe that. As it's fair to conclude here, based off all the evidence here, the FBI played a major, crucial role when it came to the trafficking of children. They lost evidence very conveniently. They never followed up. They never followed procedure. So did the big banks, by the way. You look at JP.
In my opinion,
a lot of them faced lawsuits. Why? Because they were
allegedly,
to give Jeffrey Epstein essentially a way to do whatever he wanted to do without facing any kind of regulatory pressure or the regular pressures that you face when it comes to reporting and documenting where all of your income is coming from. You know, us regular plebs, we have to answer, hey, who do you work for? Where do you get this money? Where is it coming from? Give us some kind of regulatory practices here that all of us have to abide by, unless you're Jeffrey Epstein, which of course made Deutsche Bank pay $150 million in penalty for their relationship with Epstein that they skirted the rules, laws, and regulations for. As a lot of people right now are very black-pilled, and I hope we are surprised. I hope Pam Bondi knocks it out the park. I hope she remains safe and releases all these documents in perpetuity in a way that actually transforms our society for the better. That's what's at stake here, but as the former Attorney General of Florida, a lot of people are saying, well, she didn't really do anything in Florida, as now the state of Florida is going after Andrew Tate. Yes, you heard that correctly. Before talking about that saga, don't forget to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We're going to be shooting and releasing a really wild video today that only members of LukeUnfiltered.com will be getting. Really fun stuff, specifically when it comes to kitchen, award-winning pies, and getting suits fitted with some really high-level personalities.
I used to live on Anna Maria Island.
Lots of really weird stuff on LukeUnfiltered.com. Get it before anyone else, as you get an exclusive look behind the scenes to some really cool, fun, amazing stuff happening on LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up right now. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and it helps grow, sustain, and allow us to be the best, most amazing, incredible versions of independent media. I want to be on the ground reporting. I want to go out there. I want to risk it all, just like I did for so many other years. For some reason, I still desperately want to. I need fixers. I don't buy hotel rooms. Again, all that stuff really expensive, especially when it comes to.
Is that dude coming?
I don't care if I get paid. I don't need to get paid. I just want to make sure I get the job done right for you. And when news breaks, I'm going to be there. Help make that happen. Sign up to lukeunfiltered.com, and I will commit that promise to you while
You
giving
just
you
painted the office, right?
Yeah. As now, we have a very weird situation on our hand with the quartering saying we have no Epstein files, and the Attorney General of Florida, where Epstein operated with impunity, is more concerned about prosecuting Andrew and Tristan Tate, two men who have faced litigation for years in the public with no convictions. Very well put here. The Attorney General, the new Attorney General of Florida that just replaced Pam Bondi, had this to say here, as a lot of people are saying, this is kind of weird, this is strange that this is happening at this key moment and time. But when you look at a lot of the circumstantial evidence here, it's really not, and we'll tell you why in a little bit.
Yeah, look, these guys have themselves publicly admitted to participating in what very much appears to be soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women around the world. Many of these victims coming forward, some of them minors, people can spin or defend however they want, but in Florida, this type of behavior is viewed as atrocious. We're not going to accept it. They chose to come here and set their feet down in this state, and we're going to pursue every tool we have within our legal authority to hold them accountable. So we are in the process today. We have secured and executed subpoenas and warrants, and we're going to continue to move forward with full force of law. This is an ongoing criminal investigation, and we're going to use every tool we have to ensure that justice is served.
Now, a lot of people are saying this is absolutely unfair. A lot of the kind of accusations are very kind of fake here. They never led to any kind of legitimate prosecutions in foreign lands. Why is it happening when they landed here in Florida? Well, a lot of people are asking that specific question, as other people are saying, well, the governor ordered this to happen, as the governor of Florida has announced that the Tates are not welcome here in this state, and that he was going to get his attorney general to go after them. And it looks like they are. Now, why are the Tates being criminally investigated here? I think it's fair to assume that their political ideology has something to do with it, but there's also a lot of other people coming forward and saying, it's not just that. There's also allegations and rumors that one of the alleged victims is, of course, a Florida resident. And therefore, the state of Florida is taking this investigation very seriously and might even potentially be pressing charges on behalf of this victim that some people allege is also a child. And if those allegations are true, there's some very serious allegations, and they signal some very serious problems for the Tates, as of course they would be in violation of the Protect Act, a law here in Florida. And when we look at a lot of these accusations, we have to understand they are still accusations. For me, a lot of this is just politically motivated. It seems like there is a larger effort to try to punish these men. Now, should they be punished for actions that they committed? Absolutely, 110%. Everyone should hear. But it's now overwhelmingly not just coincidental that these people have been charged, have been accused, and vilified, not just by the corporate media, by the judicial legal system that is trying to, of course, go after them in many jurisdictions. Not just in Romania, also in the United Kingdom, and now in Florida. As we have seen Andrew Tate on a podcast recently making fun of the governor of Florida, and it looks like the governor of Florida is now going to be going after him. How much of this is political motivated? How much of this is because of a legitimate victim that was actually hurt here by the Tates? I think we're going to find out in the next few days here, as the Tates are automatically screaming, hey, we're getting punished, we're getting attacked here, just because of our political viewpoints. Other people are saying, no, you're going to punish here because of your actions against this accuser. What will happen in the court of law? What will be the evidence provided to us? I think until we have all of that presented to us, we should stop from jumping to judgment. Clearly, DeSantis is getting a lot of heat for this, as a lot of people are saying, yeah, we kind of see why he's doing this. We kind of see why they're kind of opposed politically, geopolitically especially, with this larger kind of notion and idea. But I want to leave the question to you. What do you think? What's the real reason? for this criminal investigation, for this kind of police raid, for this confiscation of cell phones. And for me, I would hope that if such larger actions are being committed by the state of Florida, they are committed with ample evidence of them committed violence, not just hearsay and rumors from individuals that could or could not be telling the truth. I hope there's at least a shred of evidence because, you show me the man, I'll show you the crime. If you want to go after somebody, you'll find a way to go after them. Now, is this a larger fishing expedition by the Florida State Attorney General? If it is, it should be automatically called out and stopped immediately. Is this something based off actual evidence and legitimate information that is being brought forward by accusers that have witnesses that have actual things that could materialize into something? There's a big difference between the two. And if the state of Florida is just actively conducting a witch hunt because of people's political opinions, this is a state that, of course, no longer is free. And I think that's a fair statement to make here. Of course, I love the state, but if the government is doing this, it's highlighting very largely kind of erratic behavior that's going with, of course, the masses, rather with the moral code of what is right and wrong. We need a state that is not going to go after people because of their larger political ideas. And if that comes out, that that's happening here, this is going to mean a very destructive reputation to Ron DeSantis that already doesn't have the best reputation, especially amongst the Donald Trump MAGA group. Now, how will this kind of unfold, especially now with Ron DeSantis trying to get his wife to run for governor? We're going to see here, because this is going to be a very fascinating...
Oh, somebody wants to stay in power.
...to look at. We'll see what happens. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.
President Trump's primetime speech last night to Congress, which was broadcast live on all of the big brand name networks, interrupting their regularly scheduled programming to reach the normies, was probably his best speech ever. Technically, it was not the State of the Union address. A lot of people are calling it that. Technically, it is the address to the joint session of Congress. The State of the Union address occurs after the president has been in office for about a year, so that will occur next year. But whatever we want to call it, it was brilliant, and the Democrats look like complete clowns. Here he is entering the House chamber, and you can see a lunatic Democrat there has a sign protesting, saying this is not normal. Well, of course, they're not normal. And just wait for it. Another guest there, I don't know who this is, then sees the sign, takes it, and throws it away. Bye-bye. Then he proceeded to hit home run after home run after home run, humiliating the Democrats right to their face.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Well, you were sitting there, stewing in their anger. At one point, he started listing off all of the waste, fraud, and abuse that Doge has been discovering, of course, further angering the Democrats.
$40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+. The African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
You laugh, but it's not funny.
Real.
Actually, that program probably should stay because it sounds like those are some rogue scientists searching for you're not allowed to say a cure for transgenderism or other sexual orientation disorders, but it sounds like that's what they're doing. I've covered these rat experiments in the past. I don't want to go off on a big tangent in this video, but they have discovered that by artificially increasing the estrogen level in the wombs of pregnant rats, they can make the rats gay or transgender because it rewires their brains, the male rats, because their brains are being bathed in too much estrogen. And the evidence is pointing that that's what's happening in many cases with the transgender humans, but you're not supposed to talk about that once again. Then you're a Nazi eugenicist. There's nothing wrong with them at all. They're amazing heroes. They're the next phase, human evolution of civil rights leaders. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Back to the speech.
With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense.
And Israel, of course, but we can't talk about that.
With no security, with no...
Those are Democrats applauding the only time that they ever applauded during the entire speech. But wait for it. Yay, wasting hundreds of billions of tax dollars on a war halfway around the world again. Things that the Democrats used to oppose. I'm sure there's some neocons applauding there as well.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
But Pocahontas is, and the Democrats' joy would soon fade because President Trump went no holds barred.
My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, little John and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you.
Amazing. Remember when these topics were considered to be fringe topics, when only us independent, crazy YouTubers were talking about them, and we were framed as being out of touch and just nitpicking isolated instances?
Yeah.
We're getting wokeness out of our
It's not a problem until it comes to your front door.
It's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it.
Well, it's not out, but we're working on it, sir, but we get the point. We appreciate the support.
Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone.
It's a mental illness.
It's gone.
It's a social cancer. It's satanic.
And we feel so much better for it, don't we?
Yes.
Don't we feel better?
We're making progress. Still not gone. We got a lot of work to do, but finally, conservatives have grown a spine. In order to protest President Trump's speech, a bunch of dimwit Democrats brought signs to the town, looking like they were at a silent auction, which read, "False, Musk steals, and lies." Because they're not just in denial about all the waste, fraud, and abuse.
No, they're culpable.
Doge is discovering more about it. They are obviously encouraging it and love it.
Over
they're the creators of it.
130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy, or to make them stand, or smile, or applaud. Nothing I can do. I can find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
The Democrats were so upset that Congressman Al Green, the human Sasquatch, stood up and interrupted Trump's speech and wouldn't sit down.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir.
He's saying there's no mandate. This was after President Trump pointed out that we won the Electoral College and the popular vote and the House and the Senate.
Take your seat. Plenty of members continue to engage in willful and concerted
disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Should be arrested for disorderly conduct.
Why should he be arrested, Mark?
Democrats were telling him to shut up, telling him to sit down. They just sat there completely silent, endorsing what he was doing. And at this point, they should really just manhandle him and just pick him up and drag him out of the building.
You get so mad when the Democrats do that shit, though. These people are so hypocritical.
It's time to go Cobra
The left pulls someone out of a fucking meeting and it's the end of the world, but it happens to the Trump and the Democrats do it and drag them out. I don't like that shit.
Dragging him out of the building.
I don't like
Many
it.
of the Democrat women, including the one who identifies as a woman and calls themselves Sarah McBride, the first transgender person in Congress, wore pink to supposedly signify that they support women, even though they actually don't support women because they oppose stopping biological men from competing against women in sports and from invading their personal spaces in places like bathrooms and showers. And their dumb little placards made for some fun photoshopping by the meme makers, resulting in memes like this. And this is not a meme, however. This is Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who pretends that she's a Muslim, even though she doesn't believe in or do anything that actual Muslims do, because Muslims aren't liberals. Muslims don't support the LGBT community, and apparently she just came there with her laundry
Big chunk of stuff.
Real Muslims do, with the ones who took over that city council in that Michigan city. I don't know how to pronounce it, Hamtramck or something. Well, they literally just took over the city council and then they banned the pride flag from being displayed on public property, which is now a common occurrence in most cities across the country, leaving many of the Ivy League liberals who thought that they were just poor minorities who fit into their intersectional worldview of oppression, made them feel a sense of betrayal. And the Democrat foot soldiers look like they're just about all protested out, because this is the crowd that showed up in order to protest President Trump's speech. And God, get a load of what this California Democrat said. Representative Sidney Kamlagar-Dole.
You don't care about this country, and that is unacceptable if you claim to be the President of the United States.
He doesn't claim to be, he was elected.
We are going to continue to
Fight
back.
Israel.
We're going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating.
Of course, you're going to continue to speak lies to President Trump's truths. And I'll continue to post uncomfortable truths over on my locals page, which would cause problems if they're posted on the big tech platforms. And it's a great way to sponsor my channel for $5 a month. So head on over to marknation.locals.com or click the link in the description below and check it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank you all so much for coming over. I got this video here from TMZ. Lawyer on Diddy's case speaks out about tapes, S-tapes, you say that. I'm just trying to figure out, is anything going to happen before the case starts? You know, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations. But, you know, we just want to see some type of consequences happen, right? Because this is crazy. Are we gonna get the Diddy news or the Epstein? What we gonna get first? We don't know if we gonna get any of it. Ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
So, we have heard a lot about the prosecution's case against Diddy. And we've heard news conferences. We've seen raids, we have heard what the federal government has, and one of the things they talked about right out off the jump was they seized tapes. And a lot of people thought, oh my God, there are celebrities on these tapes involving freak-offs. Right, well, we have heard allegations about other celebrities connected to Diddy. But the people on Diddy's side say, we're getting things all mixed up here. And she blames the media. Right. She being Teddy Garagos, who is one of the attorneys.
Now that his house burned down.
Indictment in the criminal case against him. And she sat down with Harvey and Mark Garagos for their Two Angry Men podcast. Yes, Penny is Mark's daughter. But this is the questioning. You got into talking about what...
Well, that makes so much more sense. Now I know why Harvey Levin seems to be in favor of P. Diddy.
This is what she wanted to say.
Conflict of interest.
The public and the media have gotten nearly every fact wrong about what the prosecution's case is here. So I just want to take one issue with that. You know, there's no minors, there's no celebrity sex tapes. You know, the civil lawsuits here are not driving the allegations that we're defending against, but it is driving the vitriol against him in the media.
This kind of created a life of its own, that they had seized videos of the freak-offs, and it kind of spun into who's on those tapes. And Hollywood became unusually silent.
I think there's one huge reason, and that's Tony Busby. Right after
here comes the setup.
So the 1-800 number behind him.
Here comes the setup.
Without having filed any. And we saw exactly how it played out, and we saw exactly why Hollywood went quiet.
And
oh, shush the fuck up, bitch.
Why Hollywood went quiet.
You know he's guilty.
We now know that Tony Busby sent demand letters to several celebrities. Most notably Jay-Z, who stood up to that and is actually now suing Tony Busby for extortion. Right. Because the person...
It's not extortion to ask someone if they want to close the case.
Right, in her case. Now,
I'm going to read some comments too. I just have to say this because this was...
That is so funny, dude. How they're keeping us distracted. They don't want to hand over those Epstein files, man.
Again, I'll just say it.
They really want us to just forget about that.
But the thing that's extremely hard about this is how easy it is to possibly pay someone to have things removed. Now, if you're dealing with celebrities and you're dealing with all the money that they have, you know, and you think about the things people would do for money, and we already know that they were saying people or celebrities were trying to get their, like, pay to get their names taken off. So it's like, what do we believe here, man? Like, honestly, what do we believe here? That there's literally nobody there, like all this stuff is made up? Like there were no celebrities there on these tapes? Well, now, I mean, you had Diddy himself was like saying stuff like you want to send the kids home because they don't want to be seeing what's about to be happening next. You know?
God damn it again with that window.
Again, you can believe what you want to believe, but come on, man. I'm going to go to the comments after this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be agreeing with me.
Penny also said that they are going to be looking to file other defamation lawsuits. And she made that really clear, that it wasn't just going to be a one-off with Jay-Z. That, well, hold on, because Jay-Z is suing, but she's not representing Jay-Z. She's saying that Diddy is going to file defamation lawsuits against some of the people who are making allegations out of court. Now, Tony Busby, by the way, you just mentioned something. When we did one of our earlier Downfall of Diddy documentaries, we had Tony Busby on. And I asked him specifically, is the game here to go to high-profile people like a celebrity and say either settle or we're going to file a lawsuit?
That's literally standard fare.
Life and your career.
That's how it's done.
And he kind of said that's the drill in civil litigation. So he was open about that.
But I mean, unless he has some evidence, why would he do that? You know what I mean? So my whole thing is like, if you're a celebrity and you're being accused of something that you know you had nothing to do with, you didn't take part in nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you settle? So my whole thing is like, I feel like, you know, do people really have stuff to hide? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because it's getting a little crazy now. I told you, we're getting down to the wire. So people, I feel like they're throwing stuff at the wall, trying to see what sticks.
Chief does not abide by that.
Yeah, look, I think this is
All right.
what we're seeing here played out in a very public way is what happens
Now,
not
switch
publicly every day in this country. Our system
everything.
is set up for this, right? You have plaintiffs' lawyers who try to exploit every possible vulnerability of the defense, including by threatening to file lawsuits that may or may not be fully fleshed out. And if you force them to prove their case, they're going to say, you're going to be really embarrassed if this comes out, therefore you might as well just settle up. And then on the other hand, you have a defense lawyer who is putting her client's best foot forward here to try and not only in this case win the court of public opinion, but also to lay the seeds with the plaintiff's counsel that this is not going to be quite as easy as you think, and you better be prepared for war.
So I think in having this discussion, we've kind of done exactly what Tenny and I think Mark Agnifilo would say is that we're melding the civil lawsuits, and that's what Tony Busby's about. Right. Tony Busby is the civil lawsuits. The conversation that you get into more on the podcast, but there is also about the actual criminal matter. This is the federal indictment against Diddy, and that's what she and Mark Agnifilo are defending Diddy against the U.S. attorney. That's right, and there are so many allegations civilly with minors, with drugging, and a lot of other things. People think that the U.S. attorney has that. And they think that it's not. They're separate. There are 3 victims, alleged victims, in the federal case. Now, Cassie and 2 others. Right. Now, I don't think we should downplay to make it seem like, oh, well, that's all that he's facing. I mean, in the criminal case. Right, but I'm saying, take away all the civil lawsuits, he's still facing a lot here against the government. Oh, he is. Right. He is. Criminal charge. He is.
And that's what I was talking about. Like there's a lot of allegations against him, you know? So, I don't know, man. It's like I don't want to speculate and assume, but at the same time, it's been a lot of stories about this. A lot. So.
And yes, you're right. It is only at this point 3 victims that the government has named, but it's not. Those 3 victims are enough to send him away to prison for a long time. Right. If the government wins. If the government wins. What we haven't heard is what is the defense that they will mount against the 3 victims? Are they going to argue it was consensual? Are they going to argue that it's racial? Are they going to argue? You know they're going to argue it's racial. I said that. You're going to get on the consent issue too. Yeah. Are they going to argue that to call this racketeering when it's basically looking at what goes on in somebody's bedroom pushes the law so far that it's like a rubber band that breaks? Now, I'm not saying that's going to work or not work, but they're going to put up a fight. They are going to put up a fight.
My name's Shana and I'm from the UK. I believe that there is a lot of misinformation surrounding the Diddy case, but I also believe that there is no smoke without fire. What I will say is, this is the same guy that denied all allegations made against him by Cassie, and you know, until that hotel footage got leaked, and then that's when he wanted to come with the apology. So I'm quite happy to see. I quite want to see how this plays out, in my opinion.
You're right. You're so right about that. The video that he denied. I did nothing like that, and that's going to be maybe his biggest problem. Yes. But what she just said is really interesting. There's a lot of smoke there. Maybe not fire, but smoke. Thing is, to get a conviction, smoke isn't enough. You need the fire. Yeah. And that's going to. And you got to have the fire on video. Right.
That's what I said. I've said that the fact that we seen that video, you know what he's capable of. You know, all these allegations against him. Let's just say they aren't true. Let's just say that. let's say they aren't true. He gonna have a hell of a time proving it based off that video. Because he it's disgusting how, you know, there's that she said this and she said that, and then you saw that video and you're just like, oh, I don't believe everything anybody say. That's what most people did. You know? Show me who you are and I'll believe you. So, again, this stuff is alleged, but at the end of the day, it's going to be tough. It is. Now, let me look at some of these comments here. Someone says, so my question is, why is Diddy in jail if there's no evidence? Honest question. That's what I'm asking. There's 35 responses to that. Because they are minimizing him, have a fair chance to defend himself. He was in jail because he was caught reaching out to witnesses. That's another thing too. Some of the comments are people are just trolling. Let me see. Someone said, because they have to be specific, it's not tapes, it's DVDs. She didn't say the feds have no evidence on this deal. Let's see here. Someone said the tapes are right next, the Diddy tapes are right next to the Epstein tapes.
God damn it.
I don't know, man. Like I said before, if this man ends up not facing any time, then you know it's some extremely important people that were involved. I'm gonna just say that. All right, hey, peace out. Thanks for watching.
I'm gonna switch over to the other platform so I can listen to music. Oh, my phone is about to die. Where's the charger at? So, meet me on Bigo in about 30 seconds. I love you. I miss you, Nikki.